In the last episode, Yuta had taken down Dhruv Lagdawala in a single shot, and with that, the deadlock that had kept Sendai Colony frozen for so long finally broke. Dhruv was the kind of player whose Shikigami was so powerful that nobody could move. Not Ryu, not Uro, not Kurourushi. Everyone was stuck holding each other back. But the moment Yuta defeated Dhruv, that balance shattered in an instant. And now, Sendai Colony had only one person standing in it. Yuta, alone, with three more dangerous players still out there. Ryu Ishigori, Takako Uro, and Kurourushi. Three special grade level threats, all at once. And Yuta's plan was to take all of them down by himself, collect enough points, and get new rules added to the culling game for Megumi's sake. Yuta had already been protecting a group of civilians inside the colony. He brings them to the stadium that used to be Dhruv's base, thinking it would be a safe spot since nobody would dare come near a place connected to Dhruv. But he was wrong. Because the moment Dhruv died, something that had only been staying dormant because of him woke up. Kurourushi. A special great cockroach curse spirit whose entire existence revolves around one thing: eating. It was starving. And its first target was those exact civilians Yuta was protecting. A swarm of millions of cockroaches arrived and devoured a person in seconds. Literally, a human being wiped out in seconds. Yuta reacted immediately, summoned Rika, brought down a bridge to stop the second wave, and channeled cursed energy into his katana to destroy the entire first wave in a single attack. Now Kurourushi was standing right in front of Yuta, and a proper fight broke out between them. Kurourushi carried the festering life sword. This is no ordinary weapon. It's a curse tool that fires parasitic eggs, meaning anyone cut by this sword gets insects burrowed inside them that eat them from the inside out. An absolutely disgusting and dangerous weapon. But that wasn't even Yuta's biggest problem. The real problem was that he knew Ryu Ishigori and Takako Uro were both watching from a distance. And Kurourushi's sword wounded Yuta in the shoulder and stomach. Some toxic insects even blinded him temporarily. But even then, Yuta refused to reveal his full power. And then, when the right moment came, Yuta grabbed Kurourushi's face, pressed his mouth directly against its skull, and blasted positive energy straight into its brain. This technique is crucial to understand. Curse spirits are built entirely from negative cursed energy. Their whole existence depends on it. So when Yuta forced positive energy into its brain, it destroyed Kurourushi from the inside out instantly, just like throwing water on fire. Kurourushi was done, and Yuta got 5 points. But the moment Kurourushi turned to dust, not even a second passed, Uro attacked. Her name is Takako Uro, and she is the most mysterious player in this entire colony. Her innate technique is sky manipulation, and while it sounds simple, it is actually one of the most confusing and dangerous abilities in this arc. She treats the atmosphere, the air and space around her, like a physical surface that she can grab, stretch, twist, and tear. In practical terms, if Yuta throws a punch toward Uro, his arm might suddenly stretch out way longer than it should, or fly off in a completely different direction. Yuta was completely confused in the first few exchanges. His guard kept failing, and he couldn't figure out why. But then he noticed that his arm hadn't actually been hurt when it stretched, and that's when it clicked. This is space distortion, like how a camera lens makes things look bigger or smaller than they really are. But nothing actually changes. Yuta understood it, but fighting against Uro's technique was still incredibly difficult. So Yuta did something nobody expected. He started talking to her. He asked her why she was fighting, why she was killing so many people when she was clearly strong enough to collect points from anyone she wanted. Uro told him they had been reborn, and the culling game was the first step in their new life. Kenjaku was definitely cooking something up behind the scenes, so they needed to stack as many points as possible and stay ready. Yuta told her she wasn't fighting for anyone, no friends, no companions, just killing thousands of people for her own benefit. That hit a nerve, because Uro recognized that Yuta was a descendant of the Fujiwara family, the same family that had betrayed and killed her as a scapegoat in her previous life. Uro grabbed Yuta and lifted him into the air, squeezing his throat. And right at that moment, a massive laser beam came flying at both of them. Ryu Ishigori's granite blast. No warning, no hesitation. Simply because their conversation was boring him and he wanted a real fight. Ryu Ishigori is someone you need to actually understand. Otherwise, this entire fight won't make sense. He died 400 years ago. In his previous life, he was a massive fighter. He defeated countless powerful opponents, but he never got that one satisfying final moment that every fighter chases. He thinks in the language of food, like how after a good meal, you need something sweet at the end, that dessert, That final satisfaction. He stayed hungry for 400 years, even after death. And when he came back through the culling game, he still couldn't find a worthy opponent until Yuta arrived. His technique is Granite Blast, raw compressed cursed energy fired like artillery, powerful enough to destroy an entire area in one shot. And what makes him truly dangerous, when Yuta entered Sendai Colony and defeated Dhruv, Ryu understood, this is my dessert. This is the last satisfying fight he had been waiting 400 years for. The three-way battle kicked off and it was pure non-stop chaos. Ryu rained down granite blasts one after another, each one powerful enough to end the fight if it connected. Uro twisted space with her sky manipulation. Yuta kept dodging, kept countering, kept using his reverse curse technique to heal himself just enough to keep fighting. But it was becoming clear he was losing ground, running out of options. And then he made the decision he had been holding back on. He put on the ring. Rika arrived. The moment Rika arrived, everything changed. Rika's cursed spirit stays with Yuta. She stores cursed energy and cursed tools for him. And when Yuta puts on the ring, he connects directly to her. This connection only lasts 5 minutes, but in those 5 minutes, the power Yuta has access to is something no other sorcerer can match. Rika turned toward Uro, and Uro was ready to fight. But Yuta moved first, using a copy of Inumaki's cursed speech to freeze Uro in place. Literally, one word, and Uro couldn't move. Then he copied Dhruv's Shikigami and sent them orbiting around Uro. Dhruv's technique worked like this. Wherever his Shikigami passed, that area became a domain, meaning anyone who entered it would be injured. Yuta was now using that exact same technique. Seeing this, Uro finally understood what Yuta's real ability was. Copy. He can copy anyone's technique. She realized she had been making mistakes from the very beginning. Yuta had been absorbing everyone's techniques all along. Ryu's granite blast kept hitting Rika continuously, and Yuta's 5-minute window was almost gone. And then came the moment this episode will be remembered for. All three of them had the same thought at the same time. Ryu, Uro, Yuta. All three opened their domain expansions simultaneously. When two domains clash, the stronger one wins and cancels the other's sure hit effect. But when three domains open at once, something completely different happened. Someone entered from outside. It was Kurourushi. Not the one Yuta had killed, that one was dead. But because Kurourushi was a curse spirit, it had already reproduced through parthenogenesis beforehand. The new Kurourushi walked straight into three already unstable domains. A fourth party entering three clashing domains? That was the worst possible thing that could happen. And it did. All three domains collapsed at once. The moment the domains broke, Yuta reacted first. Immediately kicked Uro hard. Kurourushi moved toward Uro. Kurourushi sliced off Uro's arm clean, and Rika ate that arm. This moment seemed small at the time, but nobody realized yet why it mattered. Ryu then finished off both Uro and Kurourushi in one granite blast. Yuta took down Kurourushi again with positive energy. Now only two were left, Ryu Ishigori and Yuta Okotsu. Yuta had one last card that Ryu had no idea about. Rika had eaten Uro's arm, which meant Yuta had copied sky manipulation. Ryu charged his final maximum output granite blast, the biggest one he had ever fired. So massive, it was clear this would end everything. And then he fired. Yuta grabbed the sky. Literally, with both hands, he grabbed the atmosphere and bent it. Uro's technique. Ryu's own beam, his maximum output. The full power he had been building for 400 years came redirected back straight at him through bent space. Both of them collided at the same moment. Beam clash. And Ryu went down. Yuta gave him the moment he had been waiting 400 years for. And Ryu noticed that. He fell, wounded. And then he smiled. My stomach is finally full. Ryu told him he was too naive. You don't leave an enemy alive after something like this. But then smiled and transferred every single one of his points over. Total 190 points for Yuta.